My name is Amir Marathe. Today, I'll be presenting a paper titled Ceph, a Scalable High Performance Distributed File System. What is Ceph? Ceph is an open source distributed file system which provides excellent performance, scalability, and reliability. Ceph was originally homed at UC Santa Cruz Storage Research Systems Center. Later, the project was taken under Inktank. The goals of Ceph are easy scalability to petabyte capacity, reliability that is it should be tolerant to failures, that is consider failures as the norm rather than the exception, and performance, that is handling dynamic workloads. System designers from a long time have sought to improve the performance of file systems, which has proved critical to the overall performance of an exceedingly broad class of applications. Traditional solutions provide a model in which a server exports a file system hierarchy that clients can map into their local namespace. The centralization in the client server model can be a significant obstacle to scalable performance. Object-based storage, on the other hand, are those in which conventional hard disks are replaced with intelligent object storage devices called as OSDs, which combine a CPU, network interface, and local cache with an underlying disk or RAID. OSDs replace the traditional block-level interface with one in which low-level block allocation decisions are handled by the devices themselves. Clients interact with an metadata server to perform metadata operations, that is, open or rename, while communicating directly with OSDs to perform file I/O, that is, reads or writes. Systems adopting this model continue to suffer from scalability limitations due to little or no distribution of the metadata workload. Enter Ceph. Ceph decouples data and metadata operations by eliminating file allocation tables and replacing them with generating functions. This allows Ceph to leverage the intelligence present in the OSDs to distribute the complexity surrounding data access, updation, replication, failure, detection, and recovery. Ceph utilizes a highly adaptive distributed metadata cluster architecture that significantly improves the scalability of metadata access and with it, the scalability of the entire system. We come to the Ceph components. The first component, clients. Clients are the nodes who request metadata info or perform I/O operations, each instance of which exposes a near POSIX file system interface to a host or process. POSIX, which stands for Portable Operating System Interface, is a family of standards specified by the IEEE Computer Society for maintaining compatibility between operating systems. The second is the metadata server cluster, which manages the namespaces, file names, and directories while coordinating security, consistency, and coherence. Third is the object storage cluster, a cluster of OSDs which collectively stores all data and metadata. The features of Ceph include Ceph maximizes the separation between data and metadata management by replacing allocation tables with Crush protocol. This means that the client interacts separately with a MDS to perform the metadata operations and interacts with OSDs for I/O. Effective metadata management is critical to overall system performance because file system metadata operation make up as much as half of typical file system workloads. Ceph utilizes a metadata cluster architecture based on dynamic subtree partitioning that intelligently distributes responsibility for managing the file system directory hierarchy among tens or even thousands of MSDs, facilitating efficient updates and aggressive prefetching to improve performance for common workloads. Ceph delegates the responsibility for data migration, replication, failure detection, and failure recovery to the cluster of OSDs that store the data. This approach allows Ceph to more effectively leverage the intelligence, that is the CPU and memory present on each OSD, to achieve reliable, highly available object storage with linear scaling. When a process opens a file, the client sends a request to the MDS cluster. An MDS traverses the file system hierarchy, and if the file exists and access is granted, the MDS returns the inode number, file size, and information about the striping strategy used to map file data into objects. The MDS may also issue the client a capability if it does not already have one, which specifies what operations are permitted. Now, armed with the inode number, layout, and file size, the client can name and locate all objects containing file data and read them directly from the OSD cluster. If a client opens a file for writing, it is granted the capability to write with buffering, and any data it generates at any offset in the file is simply written to the appropriate object. Crush is used to map placement group to OSD. Subsequent MDS involvement in file I/O is limited to managing capabilities to preserve file consistency and achieve proper semantics. The client relinquishes the capability on file close and provides the MDS with new file size. POSIX semantics require first that the reads reflect any data previously written. Second, the result of overlapping concurrent writes will reflect a particular order of occurrence. When MDS detects multiple accesses to the same file, it will revoke any previously issued read or write capabilities, forcing client I/O for that file to be synchronous. The synchronization is now handled by the OSDs, which will block all read and write operations till acknowledgement is received by placing a lock. The latency is very high for such synchronous operations. This can become a performance killer for applications, particularly those doing small reads or writes. One solution is simply to relax the consistency for the applications where it isn't important. But the best solution to the problem is extending HPC to POSIX, the OLazy flag for open that allows applications to explicitly relax the usual coherency requirement for a shared write file. Applications can explicitly synchronize using the following two flags. Lazy IO propagate, which will flush a given byte range to the object store, and lazy IO synchronize, which will ensure that the effects of previous propagations are reflected in any subsequent reads. Interaction with namespaces are managed totally by MDSs. Operations applied synchronously to ensure serialization, consistency, security, and safety. These are optimized for common access. For example, where readdir fetches the entire directory, including inode contents, and if immediately followed by one or more stats, the briefly cached information is returned. Otherwise, it is discarded. That is, correct behavior is provided at some cost. Metadata storage. A set of large bounded, lazily flushed journals allows each MDS to quickly stream its updated metadata to the OSD cluster in an efficient and distributed manner. In the event of MDS failure, another node scans the journal to recover particular parts of the failed nodes in memory cache for quick start and in turn to recover the state. Although the MDS cluster aims to satisfy most requests from its in-memory cache, metadata updates must be committed to disk for safety. Each directory's content is written to the OSD cluster using the same striping and distribution strategy as metadata journals and file data. Dynamic subtree partitioning. Cephe's MDS cluster is based on a dynamic subtree partitioning strategy that adaptively distributes cached metadata hierarchically across a set of nodes. Each MDS measures frequency of queries, that is, popularity in a particular directory. MDS will compare the counters with each other and split the directory tree to evenly distribute the load. Partitioning can handle huge workloads but can't deal with hotspots. Heavily read directories selectively spread across multiple nodes to distribute the load. Directories that are particularly large or experiencing a heavy write workload have their contents hashed by file name across the cluster, achieving a balanced distribution at the expense of directory locality. From a high level, Ceph's clients and metadata servers view the object storage cluster comprising of possibly tens or thousands of OSDs as a single logical object store and namespace. Files are striped across many objects. Ceph maps objects into placement groups, that is PGs, using a simple hash function with an adjustable bit mask to control the number of PGs. Crush stands for controlled replication under scalable hashing. which is a pseudo-random data distribution function that efficiently maps each PG to an ordered list of OSDs, upon which to store object replica. To access an object, the client needs to know the placement group, OSD cluster map, object placement rules used by Crush. The advantages of Ceph are it is completely distributed such that any party, client, OSD, or MDS can independently calculate the location of any object. The map is infrequently updated, virtually eliminating any exchange of distribution related metadata. Ceph solves two data problems. First, data distribution problem, that is, where should I store the data? Second is the data location problem, that is, where is the data stored? Replication. Ceph's reliable autonomic data object store, that is RADOS, autonomously replicates the data. To maintain system availability and ensure data safety in a scalable fashion, RADOS manages its own replication of data using a variant of primary copy replication. RADOS makes it so that the client is oblivious to the entire replication process. The first non-failed OSD in object's replication list acts as the primary copy. After each replica has applied the update and responded to the primary applies the update locally and the write is acknowledged back to the client. The data safety is achieved by the update process in the following ways. Primary forwards updates to other replicas. It sends updates to clients once all replicas have acknowledged. This process is slower but safer. Replicas send the final commit once they have committed the update to the disk. In this way, Rados dissociates synchronization from safety when acknowledging updates, allowing Ceph to realize both low latency updates and well-defined data safety semantics. Timely failure detection is critical to maintaining data safety, but can become difficult as cluster scales to many thousands of devices. As each OSD looks out for its peers, this is limited to its placement groups, which may still contain many OSDs. Monitors keep a cluster map. Multiple monitors keep an eye on the cluster configuration and dole out newer maps. OSD liveness, whether the OSD is reachable, whether it is assigned data by Crush. An unresponsive OSD is initially marked down and any primary responsibilities temporarily passed to the next OSD. If the OSD does not quickly recover, it is marked out of the data distribution and another OSD joins each PG to re-replicate its contents. Recovery and updates are entirely driven by OSDs. There are two stages of OSDs, when it is down and when it is out. Each object has a version number. Upon bringing a node back up, check the version number with placement group to see if current. Check the version number of object to update if required. The underlying file system can make or break a distributed system. The POSIX interface fails to support atomic data and metadata update transactions, which are important for maintaining RADOS consistency. Instead, each Ceph OSD manages its local object storage with eBOFs, an extend and B-tree based object file system. The B-tree service manages block allocation and index collection. eBOFs can easily locate free space near the right position as the free block extents on disk are binned by size and sorted by location. Now let's look at some graphs. This graph shows per OSD throughput with varying write sizes and replication. Replication has minimum impact on OSD throughput, although if the number of OSDs is fixed, n-way replication reduces total effective throughput by a factor of n because replicated data must be written to n OSDs. Replication doubles or triples disk I/O, reducing client data rates accordingly when the number of OSDs is fixed. This graph has two lines for each system. Writes are on tops and reads are on bottom. Although small reads and write performances in eBOS suffer from coarse threading and locking, writes for eBOS max the throughput for underlying hard disk. It is significantly outperforms the others for read workloads because data is laid out in extents on disk that match the write sizes, even when they are very large. This graph highlights the write latency with different replication factors. It has to write to all replicas before acknowledgement is given back to the client. Notice that these are still small writes, less than 1 MB. This suggests that the more the replicas to which data has to be written, the slower will be the ACK. Obviously, the async writes are faster. The only latency such situations face is from flushing buffers to disks. Data distribution and scalability, where most configurations are at the max hard disk speed, 32,000 PGs, will distribute data more evenly over a cluster than 4,000 PGs, and this will lead to a more balanced load on the OSDs. Over here, in the first graph, journal entries are written first to the primary OSDs and replicated to any additional OSDs. Without a local disk, all metadata is stored in a shared OSD cluster. With a local disk, the initial hop from the MDS to the primary OSD takes minimal time, allowing update latencies for 2x replication similar to 1x in the diskless mode. The main point is that in both cases, more than two replicas incur little additional latency because replicas update in parallel. The second graph shows that single read dir reads all the contents of metadata and subsequent stats read from the fetched data. Subsequent MDS interactions can be eliminated by using read_dir plus, which explicitly bundles stat and read_dir results in a single operation, or just by relaxing POSIX to allow stats to immediately follow a read_dir to be served from the client caches. The final graph, which is the metadata scaling, shows that a cluster grows to 128 nodes, efficiency drops no more than 50% below perfect linear scaling for most workloads, allowing vastly improved performance over existing systems. In conclusion, Ceph answers three of the most important problems of modern file systems: scalability, performance, and reliability. It separates data and metadata management, allowing them to scale independently. Crush enforces data replica separation across failure domains for improved data safety. Redos leverages intelligent OSDs to manage data replication, failure detection, and recovery. Low-level disk allocation, scheduling, and data migration. EBOS provide more appropriate semantics and superior performance by addressing the specific workloads and interface requirements present in Ceph. Ceph's dynamic subtree partitioning is a uniquely scalable approach, offering both efficiency and the ability to adapt to varying workloads. Thank you. This is my presentation. In the further slides, you will find the study questions. Also, I'll attach them to the discussion.